What up? What up? What up? It's Rec League Podcast, man. This is episode number 65. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, I know I started this, like, 2018. But it's crazy to me that I just haven't, like, gotten bored or whatever and, like, gave up and just quit doing the show. I know I took my little break around this time last year, but, so on the real, like, I could have, like, 70 episodes already, but 65, like, that's crazy to me. I appreciate you if you still listening, if you still watching. And it took way too long, but I am happy and pleased and proud to announce that Rec League Podcast is on Apple Podcasts now. Rec League Podcast is on Good Pods, so download that app. If you want Good Pods listening, if you want Pod Chaser listening, give us a review, man. That would be highly appreciated. You know, give us I think it's a 5-star rating on both platforms. Give us a rating, give us a review, man. Let us know what you think of whatever episode you listening to. Go back, man. Go back, listen to old discussions. Listen to some of them shows where I had the time to talk sports or to talk music. Those were fun. This episode is my guy E-Sig, Melissa, homegirl Melissa, and we switch it up. If you notice, this episode is titled "The Cable Guy" because we're talking sitcoms, we're talking TV shows, and it's fun. Like, we could have went a lot longer than we did. We talk about our favorite sitcoms. We talk, like, I randomly just try to, like, bring up, like, random shows just to get it a mention. And one thing, I'm going to say this right now, because one thing that I did not mention, and we talk about this show, but one thing I did not mention when we was talking about this show, that if you're unfamiliar, the way that I open every show is how Martin Lawrence on the show Martin would open his radio show. So that's me showing love, paying respect to some legendary shit. And that I loved how he always did that, because it was always a staple. Like, Martin saying, "What's up?" So, like, me, what up? Like, that's me showing love to Martin. And yeah, like, I don't even want to talk about all the shows. I don't want to try to, like, spoil what we talk about, man. But just know, like, we talk about a lot of dope TV, a lot of dope sitcoms. I guess I can go into recently released physical media. This past Tuesday, we got Luca, the most recent Pixar movie. And August, Here Today with Billy Crystal and Tiffany Haddish came out. August is, like, really tame. I'm going to take advantage of that shit being really tame for new releases. This upcoming Tuesday, Batman The Long Halloween Part 2 comes out. And then the Tuesday before the next episode, it looks like Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard comes out. Blu-ray, 4K. Looks like a steelbook. Yeah, man. There's, like, some upgrades, like, nothing that I'm, like, some catalog stuff, like, nothing that I'm really looking forward to spending any money on. So, like, I'm gonna take advantage of August being kind of slow. And then the weekend before, after the last episode, Jungle Cruise with The Rock and Emily Blunt came out to the theater and on Disney Plus. My review for that is on my personal YouTube channel. And this past weekend, current weekend, whatever, The Suicide Squad, the DCEU, Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, John Cena, directed by James Gunn. That's in theaters. That's on HBO Max. And my review for that is also on my personal YouTube channel. In between the next two episodes, my bad. Y'all know how I do. The weekends in between these upcoming episodes. This upcoming weekend, gosh, got me stumbling all over my words, man. This upcoming weekend is kind of a busy weekend. Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds is finally coming out. I've seen so many lame ass jokes. We're gonna get for new Free Guy trailers until blah 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 blah. Free Guy is finally coming to the theater next weekend. Ryan Reynolds video games. Don't Breathe 2, which I'm gonna see it, but it's not like a direct follow up to the original from what the trailers are showing. So like I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic. And then Jennifer Hudson got Respect, the Aretha Franklin biopic coming out. Oh man, I don't know if my theater is gonna get all three of those. I want to see all three of them, but I don't know if my theater is gonna get all three of them. And then the weekend before the next episode, Reminiscence, the Hugh Jackman Inception looking Rebecca Ferguson from the creators of Westworld. I'm curious. I'm gonna watch that because I'm curious. And then The Protege, Maggie Q, Michael Keaton, Samuel L. Jackson, that comes out that weekend too. So I'm looking forward to all of those. I plan on watching and reviewing all of those, including Batman: The Long Halloween Part 2. Yeah, I'm gonna come back with my friends, and we're gonna get this sitcom discussion rolling. It's Rec League. What's up, nerds? I say that so aggressive. I don't mean anything by it. Like, I got Eric. I got Melissa. No Nick. Nick was too cool for us this episode. So, like, I converse with my panel, like, in between shows. And me and Melissa, like, just landed on, like, there's not really any movie news. I think I brought up trailers, like, 2 weeks ago, and I forgot what those trailers were.
I remember, though.
You remember the trailers?
Yeah. It was Gucci and King Richard.
Oh, yeah, I think both of those look good. Y'all want to talk about those for a couple minutes?
Nope.
All right. So we was just like let's switch it up and let's talk TV, and we both like sitcoms. I assume Eric has sat down through a situational comedy before.
Yes.
Okay. But I wanted to ask.
Cool.
I hit you guys both with this question yesterday to give you guys some prep time. What's your favorite movie based on a TV show? And I'm gonna go with the 2009 Star Trek because the action and the humor, and it was super fun. And summer 2009, like, I basically was dragged to this movie. I was not excited to go see this movie, and I ended up loving it.
Interesting. Didn't think you wouldn't be interested in that.
Yeah, like I didn't like anything about Star Trek until I saw this movie.
You're not a Trekkie?
No, like I'm a casual Star Trek watcher. I love the Kelvin trilogy, the reboot trilogy though.
Yeah, it is good. That is a good one. Didn't even think of that, but that's a good movie. I like that. Yeah, I like the second one. I don't know about the third. I think the third made me nauseous in the theater. I don't know what the director was doing.
But Beastie Boys.
Oh man.
Yeah. I'm looking at my list.
Into Darkness is the best one from those movies.
Is that the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was. I think that one was good.
With Benedict Cabbage Patch.
Exactly.
Cabbage Patch.
My mom loves that guy.
I've got some good movies on my based on TV shows list, and just Star Trek was at the top.
Interesting. Good answer.
What's your pick, Melissa?
Well, if you guys accept this answer, I will say Wayne's World.
Nope. No, that's fine.
If you will not accept that answer, I also have Sex and the City, geared up and ready to go. And I also have The Fugitive. All three are somewhere in my top 20.
The Fugitive is great.
But Wayne's World is my absolute first, if you guys accept that. Wayne's World 1 and 2. 2, now that I watch it as an adult, I'm kind of like, man, this is problematic. But they're both really, really funny movies. And Wayne's World 1, I mean, that's a perfect comedy. Absolutely love it. And I'm actually a little bit young to have seen the original SNL sketches. I think I've seen them on YouTube, and maybe, they've done reruns here in Canada a few times, but I kind of missed all that, which sucks. I think I want to go back and try and see some of those, but it was more just the movie came at the perfect time in my youth, and oh my God, I just loved it.
Eric
and Mike Myers is from Scarborough, very close to where I grew up.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of supposed to be about his upbringing, but they made him do it in Chicago. I mean, come on, man. They could have just...
Aurora.
Aurora,
You know, it's funny. I'm sorry, Melissa. Go ahead.
No. It's just like I think I could probably really relate to his like Canadian suburb mentality in that movie, even though that's not. They pretend that it's not Canadian, but I mean, come on, the hockey, the donuts, that's all from his Scarborough upbringing for sure.
Yeah, and that's funny you mentioned that, Melissa, because I wanted to speak on that. So there's a little driving montage at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
They pass a big building with an Indian on it. Remember that?
Yeah. I think
they passed. There's like a spear with a bunch of cars on it.
Yes.
The Indian thing, I used to drive past it every day going to elementary school.
Oh.
63rd and Pulaski.
That's Illinois.
It's a pharmacy.
Oh, cool.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
The spear thing with the cars, that's North Riverside. That's like 25 minutes away from that.
Wow.
But the donut shop, Los Angeles.
Really?
So Stan Mikita's is in Los Angeles for real?
Yeah, that's not in Chicago.
Was that before the movie or after the movie?
That's the donut shop they went to. It was definitely before.
Oh, interesting, because I thought they just created Stan Mikita because you guys know about Tim Hortons?
Yeah.
So yeah, Tim Hortons is this huge thing in Canada, obviously, and I thought he was just doing a play on Tim Hortons, but Stan Mikita's is real. I did not know that.
That's it was. You know what? I don't know if it's real, but it was filmed in L.A., so they probably did what you're talking about. They just did a play on Jim Hortons, but that wasn't filmed in Chicago. Yeah, that's Jim Hortons.
It's such a big thing here, Tim Hortons. It's like, I don't know. It's this huge point of pride because, that's like it's not like a Starbucks. It's like a very cheap, everyman type of, maybe it's like a Dunkin' Donuts, right? But it's the Canadian. And Tim Horton is a hockey player.
Randy's Donuts.
Anyways, yeah.
That's Wayne's World. Did anybody see that in theaters?
Technically,
I was pretty young. Oh, I've seen it after the release.
Yeah, but technically, I saw it for the 25th anniversary.
1992. What's that?
I said technically, I saw it for the 25th anniversary.
Yeah, maybe that's when I saw it.
Wow, you saw it on the big screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It was cool, but it was annoying because there were these people in the audience, who would laugh way too hard, I know this joke. It's like, it's kind of annoying, but yeah, we probably did not see the original run in theaters. I really doubt it.
Do y'all know how many times during the NBA Finals I thought Millie Walker?
Yeah, that's funny.
That's a great scene. I remember seeing it vividly because another movie was out, and the people I was with, I think it's my brother, they wanted to go see another movie called White Man Can't Jump.
Oh, okay.
And we decided on Wayne's World. I can't say thank goodness because they're both good movies.
Yeah, I don't see the problem.
Yeah, that was just fun.
That sounds like a win-win.
Yeah.
But I think y'all can make an argument. It's either between that and because there's been a lot of SNL movies.
Right, exactly.
So in my opinion, it's either between Wayne's World and the Blues Brothers for the best.
Was SNL Wayne's World the first one?
No, Blues Brothers 1980.
Oh yeah, because that whole John Candy era, you could kind of argue. Well, if they weren't based on his characters, they don't really count, I guess. But yeah, Blues Brothers first. Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's the very first one. Yeah, then they.
Do I have to add
then a long
Saturday
gap,
Night
and I
Live
think
movies
Wayne's
to this
World.
list?
Maybe Wayne's World had such a big box office that then they started making all those 2000s ones that were so bad.
Yeah, they had. Yeah, they had a few because I think Wayne's World was the only ones.
I mean, it even got a sequel that must have meant it exceeded expectations for sure, right? It was probably a big cult thing at the time.
Oh yeah.
And they pumped out that sequel in a year.
Yeah, real fast.
Yeah, the turnaround for Wayne's World 2 was crazy.
Yeah.
It's like Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
Yeah, and it's nuts because in Wayne's World 2, which came out in '93, right?
December '93.
In the movie, they parodied Jurassic Park, which was out the same year.
Right.
I'm like, man, so they banged that out. If that was already out in June and they did a parody because they did the glass thing when they were lost, the water vibrating.
The funny thing is, I loved both of those movies growing up so much, and it wasn't until I was an adult with, real internet access, and then I realized that Wayne's World 2 was a total bomb.
Yeah, it
didn't make money, critics hated it, and it's like, damn, they should have waited a bit and made.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was so funny that we didn't realize that it wasn't considered a great movie. We were like, we just loved it. We were totally wrapped up in that whole world. Like, those movies made such an impact on my younger brother, and my younger brother calls that his #1 favorite movie, the first movie.
Didn't Mike Myers do So I Married an Axe Murderer that summer?
Yeah, which is crazy.
He was busy.
I think it was 93. I guess he was like, let's capitalize on this.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
That was a good movie.
And,
very different.
But, well, not useless. So, movie trivia in Wayne's World, when they're going to the Alex Cooper concert.
Yeah.
And they run into Chris Farley's security. And it's something that's a mistake, but they kept it in, and it makes it funnier. And he was giving them the whole history about Frankie Sharp. And it's like he's gonna come back around and go back around, and he does the point thing, and he does this, then he does that. Watch the scene again. And that was a mistake. He pointed in the wrong direction, and he corrected himself.
Oh, okay. So that's funny. That makes sense.
But it's Chris Farley. Look like he's just being goofy.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
Yeah. He's in the second one too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So yeah, funny. He was like a roadie or whatever, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he's like upset about his dad.
Yeah.
I think that's the second one, unless I'm mixing it up.
Between Airheads, Billy Madison, the two Wayne's World movies, like Chris Farley was that guy.
Oh yeah, they did a bus.
The bus driver.
Wow. Yeah, man. But yeah.
Those guys are all buddies though. That SNL crew, they were all like the BFFs, right?
Yeah, it's like I think we mentioned it once upon a time. Adam Sandler, if I'm gonna eat, everybody gonna eat was a person. That's Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that's what's up. I've always thought Kevin James was like Chris. That was supposed to be Chris Farley's spot.
And
yeah, broke up a bit, Randy.
Yeah, we couldn't.
I didn't break up nothing.
Sorry. Check one.
Yeah, I always thought Kevin James got Chris Farley's spot.
Oh yeah, that's true. The Grown Ups franchise.
Yeah.
All of that, man. Paul Blart. Here Comes the Boom.
Sometimes I even see Chris's brother. I think his name's Kevin Farley. He's
that
in
sounds
a few
right.
Things too that could totally be a Chris part.
Yes.
So Eric, what's your answer?
Yes. So where are we?
Oh, well, Eric, you never answered the question.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Randy, you back with us.
Hey, man.
So mine is actually I don't know if it's a cheat, but it's a series, and it was Mission Impossible.
Ah, nice.
People forget it's so far the younger folks that it was based on the TV show.
Nice.
But yeah, it's an amazing thing that series is doing, and it's saying a lot. It's progressively getting better and better.
Yeah.
And that's not saying that it's bad. It's just one up in the other one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
I have Fallout and Ghost Protocol in my top 10.
Yeah, and that's the most recent one, right?
Yeah.
Yes, love it. Love it.
Yeah, because that one is probably one of the best ones. Because the one where he climbed the building, the Burj Khalifa, that's Ghost Protocol.
That's Ghost Protocol,
I think so.
The only weak thing about that one is the main villain.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Can you remind me?
That's the thing. It's really nothing really to say about him.
Oh.
He's
just some dude.
There's that parking garage fight, and that's all we got.
It is nothing really distinguishable about him. And
that movie was just like cool effects and shit you've never seen before. Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
I like they brought the main villain back.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Too. And then
I think 5 and 6 have the same villain. Nobody's topping Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, and that's Yeah, probably pound for pound, he has to be the best villain in the series,
Easily.
and it's awesome because what's that?
Are you guys talking about Henry Cavill?
No,
Oh.
even though he was good in the last one.
The blonde guy?
Yeah,
Whatever.
Philip Seymour Hoffman in Mission Impossible 3 is the best villain in the whole franchise.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't hear that part, yeah.
No, and it's awesome, Philip Seymour Hoffman, because he's not in awesome, super duper shape like Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill's in good shape.
I don't know how well you all remember that movie, but he comes off as very intimidating, very awesome.
Yeah.
And I like how they open the movie too. And it's just
that movie's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's too terrifying for me, I think, honestly.
Yeah, and it's and the last one, Fallout, well, given the name, it was a real creepy dream sequence that opened up the movie. But no, Mission Impossible, and I had like you, Melissa, The Fugitive.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. That's a movie that's based on a TV show, and then it went back to a TV show again. I don't know if y'all remember that. It flopped, but
I do not.
What's it? I think Tim Daly or somebody like that played. Yeah, it was a flash in the pan. They tried to reboot it into another TV show.
It wasn't me.
Well, when
it was
Randy
the
asked
one-armed
this question,
man.
I realized that there's so many of these series that just lasted maybe not even a season that they tried to do for movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many of those out there.
Man, 2000. Yep, it was one season. Yep, Tim Daly and Michael T. Williamson played Gerard, the U.S. Marshal.
Really?
Yeah, I know y'all like, I don't know that. Yeah, no. Richard Kimball, Tim Daly.
All I heard was Bubba Gump doesn't care if he was innocent or not.
Oh, man. So what else we got? Yeah, that's mine. A whole series of movies as far as favorite.
Well,
yeah, like they tried to do a show based on Out of Sight, Karen Cisco. Did you guys know about that? I think it was
vaguely.
I remember that.
Carla Gugino.
From Son-in-Law, Randy. Randy knows who I mean.
Carla Gugino.
Carla.
Yeah, I think she was the one, and then I don't know that show. I never got to see it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Oh God.
That was a long time.
The movie was '98, so whatever.
Yeah.
Right after that, there were so many. Remember, there was a show, 10 Things I Hate About You. I think my brother liked that show.
Jeez.
Like, there's so many of those out there that
these
were just
obscure.
Like you said, flash in the pan, right?
Yeah. And it's weird. It's shows like that. For example, going back a little bit, they had a show based on the movie Weird Science.
I think I watched that on
That's
on USA.
What we're talking about, but that show was on like 5 seasons.
Because the chick from Kingpin was the computer girl.
The female from Kingpin, I forget her name.
Vanessa Angel.
Lisa. Oh, there we go.
Vanessa Angel.
Oh man. But
yeah, there's lots of those. It's crazy.
USA Up All Night. Silk Stockings.
Oh wow.
New York Undercover.
That show, you familiar with that, Melissa?
No, but it sounds very familiar.
Duckman.
It's a show, Silk Stockings. Why did it seem like that show was on for 22 years?
It did.
Melissa, I wish you knew that. It's USA, because if you were a wrestling fan back in the day, you paid attention to USA.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's always had they always show those Silk Stockings.
What is it, like an erotic thing?
It was a police procedural, right? They
Oh.
were detectives or something?
I think so.
But why would they call it?
Yeah, it's such a weird title.
I don't know.
It sounds so sexual.
You make a good point, Melissa.
I
never really knew what the damn show was about.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Right, it just you always see those advertisements.
Nip Tuck.
What the hell was that show about? 8 seasons. Crime.
Wow. 8.
Wasn't LaGuerta from Dexter in it?
Yeah, she was. Was she in there?
She was in one of them shows.
Oh man.
One of them damn shows. This is my Randy.
No, what was the
spot on?
The series portrays the series portrays the daily lives of 2 detectives who solve sexually based crimes of passion.
There's the sex. It's in there somewhere.
Based in Palm Beach, Florida.
It reminds me of how SVU has lasted like 20-something seasons. You know, it's
That
still
show
going.
was
That
on-
train is still going strong.
Coming
That show
up
was on while I was in high school.
right after
You
Monday
inject
Night
a bit
Raw.
of sex and then it's a go.
Yeah, it surpassed the original Law and Order
The
series.
whole-
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I still watch it every week. And how many shows can you say that about? That 20+ seasons in, I'm still like, oh yeah, it's Thursday night, let's watch this or whatever. You know, it's crazy.
After the main event, Macho Man Randy Savage versus the Ultimate Warrior will get you to silk stockings already in progress.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
No wonder it lasted. It had all those wrestling fans who were too lazy to change.
Yeah, it
the
had the lead in. The lead in is
Basically.
everything.
So,
Yeah, already in progress. I'm like, no.
No.
Eric,
Stop.
what is your favorite sitcom of all time, and why is it Seinfeld?
Ooh. Ooh.
You like
Is
that half-ass segue?
Was this an Eric question?
Yes.
This
Oh, I didn't
is
hear
the
you.
main discussion.
You're just gonna throw it at best sitcom of all time.
I have
Favorite. Don't say best. Say
I've cut off the tangent.
Favorite. There we go.
I've cut off the
Favorite, say
tangent,
favorite.
and now we're talking about sitcoms for the rest of the podcast, the rest of the segment.
Yeah.
Nice T-shirt, Melissa.
I got all the merch. Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a Friends mug.
And we're gonna speak on something about that later. Remind me, friends. But my favorite.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Friends.
Yeah,
Oh,
we don't have
definitely.
to remind you because we're gonna bring it up regardless.
Like
No, my favorite.
I'm white. We're talking about Friends.
That's my white side coming out.
Oh man, you threw me. I don't know why I should have been prepared. No, I would have to say favorite sitcom.
What did you think we were gonna ask?
No, it was. I was so concentrating on the movie thing, the
You
TV
threw
shows.
him, Randy. You threw him.
No, because I got a list
It's a
and I didn't break
gotcha.
it down.
It's a gotcha question.
Yeah, but I would have to say The Office.
Ah.
I'm sorry,
Nice.
the American Office.
Nice.
Sorry, Ricky.
Yeah, and yeah, I might change my mind by the end of the episode, but I might not. But it's definitely pound for pound right now. The Office.
I've been trying to tell Randy to watch it.
People,
Hey.
yeah, that's right.
Hey,
He's like an alien. I've never met anyone who hasn't seen it.
hey.
Live long and prosper.
I just started a new show. Leave me
I
alone.
know. No, I know. I'm just teasing. I was
Yeah.
telling Randy, like, there's shows that I talk about, and he's like, oh, I haven't seen it. I'm like, wow, that blows my mind. It's like when I talk about movies that I haven't seen, and you guys are like, what? You haven't seen that yet? Especially Eric.
Like Eric knows, I bought the
But
Blu-ray box set, so the intention to watch The Office is there.
No, I know. You'll get there eventually. But
I don't work in an
it's
office.
like,
I don't know if
seen
I can
almost
relate.
every show. I've tried the pilot of almost every show. Whereas movies, it's I'm not like that. It's like I really have to motivate myself to watch a movie, which is ironic because a movie can be over in 2 hours. A show could be like
Yeah.
forever, and you're still watching it. But something about shows, I've seen almost every show. I feel like at least tried it out. So yeah, The Office. That's a good answer.
Yes. I was gonna say something else, but
I said,
it's-
why is it Seinfeld?
Oh God, Seinfeld. It's one episode in particular. It's not the Soup Nazi, but it's one that's one of my favorites. And before I might spoil since I'm talking about it, it's the episode where a chicken place opened up across the street from
I
Kramer.
just saw that one the other day.
Kenny's whatever.
Kenny Rogers.
And it had the
Kenny
neon
Rogers.
sign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That one
Jerry and
that
Kramer
always
swap
sticks out.
apartments and they start acting like each other. It's gold.
Yeah.
Gold, Jerry.
Oh,
I think Randy is Seinfeld number 1, Friends number 2, and I'm the reverse. So I'm Friends number 1, Seinfeld number 2. But I mean, whatever. It's the same. They're both, for me, they're both amazing, and I'm sure Randy agrees. The Office, I have a little spiel. Like, I actually started with the UK version. Eric, did you ever see that?
Yeah, I've actually watched the first couple of seasons from.
There was only 2.
It was only 2.
Really?
I
In
guess
the-
I saw
in
the
the-
whole show.
And you did, because in the UK, they don't really do the whole 10, 20 seasons like
Yeah,
Americans do. Yeah. So it was like a 1, 2, and done, and it was a huge phenomenon, obviously, to the point where obviously the Americans copied it in so many other countries, and I think it inspired things like Curb Your Enthusiasm and, you know, other types of shows. I actually started with that one, so I actually liked that one better. And when the American one started, I was so confused, like, what the hell is this? You know, and I wasn't one of those big Office fan people until season 3. You know, Andy Bernard at Helms?
Yeah. But
so
you know,
he turned me into like an Office freak because I love him. I love Andy Bernard so much.
That's not a coincidence either, because you've seen the UK.
Yeah.
And the first season of The Office, the American Office, they tried to replicate that British humor.
I know. They did. I think the pilot is the same word for word.
Yeah, it's I believe so.
Which obviously makes it really awkward for anyone to watch that already saw the UK one. It's like, what are you doing? Like you said, it doesn't work with these people.
And
it's
they definitely switched it up for the subsequent season. Then they really found their footing.
Exactly.
I agree when certain characters came into the show. But they almost got canceled.
I think the biggest Office fanatics like season 2 because that's the whole Pam and Jim romance starting. But yeah, it's like, sorry, Randy, to talk about these shows you haven't even seen, but with UK, what I love is that it was like so real, and they cast, this is gonna sound mean, but they cast based on acting and chemistry, whereas the American version clearly cast on looks, in my opinion. Like, you know, John Krasinski, and, you know, men think Jenna Fisher is like, you know, it was like so based on, you know, who looks cute, I feel like, whereas the UK Office was like, not that they aren't cute, they're adorable. Like, Martin Freeman is adorable. Women love that character. But it was just so much more real. It's like, this is what it really looks like when you work in an office. Everyone is just like wearing drab clothing, the lighting is terrible. Then the American version comes in and it's like all these glossy, like, all-American cheerleader types. It's like, that's not what the show is, and that's why it was so hard for me to get into at first. But like you said,
right, it was those styles were clashing because they tried to get that look, but like you said, all these beautiful people, but they like, we're gonna make it our own thing.
But then when you, like you said, when they made it their own thing, that's when the show really finds its footing, like you said. And man, the writing was so good, and the fact that it lasted 9 seasons. And though there's some missteps later on, I could still watch all those 9 seasons quite happily. That's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, definitely. And there's something we definitely got to talk about here. Is everybody familiar with Randy? You there? Oh, I thought you were froze. You were just being so still.
I was trying.
You should have watched the show and prepped for this talk.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I should have crammed in 9 seasons in 2 weeks.
If either of y'all are familiar with, but you just reminded me of a list called "Jump the Shark."
Yeah, of course.
Don't jump over the shark, man. That's dangerous.
Yeah, people throw it around a little too much these days, but
what if the shark flinches and bites you?
Are y'all familiar with his origin?
The Fonz jumping a shark, right?
Literally.
Happy Days. I've never seen Happy Days, but yeah.
Thought it was Lethal Weapon 4.
The show.
Because you know, I hear that Americans get to watch these classic sitcoms on TV all the time, but they don't air those in Canada. So people have grown up with like the Brady Bunch, I Love Lucy, Gilligan's Island. Like they didn't show that in Canada, where you know. So I don't know that. Like I know it just from reading about it.
Interesting.
And from other sitcoms referencing it and copying it, you know, like every American sitcom likes to talk about Gilligan's Island or do a Gilligan's Island episode, but I never saw those shows.
I didn't think about talking about anything like older than Cheers.
Yeah, exactly. So me and Randy were talking about like what's our oldest favorite show. Like Golden Girls is my version of Cheers. Like what started in the 80s that I actually like. A Full House, I guess. Even Seinfeld was 1989 when you think about it.
Wow.
Family Matters.
That was the 80s?
I think it was 88, 89. It was after Die Hard.
And people forget Family Matters is a spinoff.
Yeah.
Sure.
Randy, you serious?
I've heard it's a spinoff before, but I don't know what it's spun off of right now.
From Perfect Strangers.
Really?
Yes,
Harriet. I used to watch Perfect Strangers.
Harriet was the elevator attendant
to
the building.
Yes. Wait, elevator attendant? I thought she was like a receptionist for the big boss. No?
She was something like that. If she was in the show.
I just remember them
I
goofy ass
saw
dudes.
Perfect Strangers recently, like around Christmas or something.
Yeah.
And
I think she was the elevator attendant. They even, because I remember the episode when it opened and she wasn't there. Like, where did she go? Like, oh, she moved to Chicago or something like that.
Oh,
They say
wow.
her husband got a promotion in the Chicago PD. They moved next to this nerdy ass kid.
Yeah, there was
God, yeah.
definitely.
Sorry, I'm not a big Family Matters person.
Eric's about to go into Urkel not even being the main character in season 1.
Man, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it. Actually, I think he
Stefan Urkel
appeared first on Full House.
Yeah, I heard that, and I used to watch that back in the day.
What was it like? TGIF used to like cross over like all the time.
Yeah, that's crazy. How man, that was the peak of TGIF. That man, those shows.
They've tried.
There's another cool one. It's like Fresh Prince and Blossom.
Yeah.
People like
Blossom was part of TGIF, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure they all were.
I'm probably no. That was NBC. TGIF was ABC.
Lisa
wow.
Kudrow was on Mad About You.
But Fresh Prince was NBC. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
NBC.
That's right.
Yeah, that's Yeah. What the heck were we? Well, talk about the Fonz.
Jumping the shark. Yeah. I know all about the lore of it, but I never saw the.
Monday, Tuesday, Happy Days. Wednesday, Thursday, Happy Days.
Yeah.
Happy Days, interestingly, has the most spun-off TV shows in history.
Nuh-uh.
Oh yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Because Mork and Mindy spun off of that, and Laverne and Shirley.
I forgot about that.
Joni Loves Chachi.
Randy and I were talking about actors who got their start on sitcoms. Totally forgot about Robin Williams. That's a good one. Good shout out.
Yeah, because they even retconned Robin Williams' character for his show, because on Happy Days he appeared in somebody's dream because they were high or something.
Damn.
And it's crazy.
Creative writers.
Yeah, and they like, oh, we got. Yeah, the ending of that show was bizarre and sad. I don't know if y'all remember it.
Happy Days or Mork and Mindy? Okay.
I've never seen this show. Are you kidding?
Oh.
Sorry, Mindy. Mork's gonna go be Popeye.
No, basically that's what happened. The real
it's
reason.
Like Poochie.
Right. I'm sorry. I have to go now. That's probably one of the best episodes. I'm sure that show is gonna come up.
The Simpsons?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a sitcom?
Way over the shark.
So many sharks, right?
Yeah.
But hey, I don't begrudge the people who watch it every week. Good for them. I'm sure new generations, and I don't even know. I mean, why would a young person watch cable television? I have no idea. Who's watching it? I don't know. That's one of life's mysteries. I don't know.
Oh man.
Everyone likes what they grew up with, right? Like, we were lucky that the prime of Simpsons, we think it was our time. Same with SNL. People say the cast that I love the best, the Sandler cast, is the worst cast of all time. But to me, that's the best cast of all time. I love that cast. That's what I grew up with. Yeah. So it's I think, people romanticize.
People probably forget the worst cast of SNL, which was in the mid-'80s. It had Randy Quaid, Robert Downey Jr.
The one before Eddie Murphy, I assume.
The one after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it had Anthony Michael Hall, Randy Quaid, Robert Downey Jr.
Gross.
Oh, damn.
What's his Harry Shearer, who will go on to The Simpsons.
Was Julia Louis-Dreyfus part of it?
I think she was probably in that.
Because I know she and Larry David became friends and they hated their time at SNL. Yeah, which is really interesting.
There's
which
2
leads
seasons.
To Seinfeld and all that stuff.
Yeah. Right. There's but no, there's 2 seasons of SNL that what's his name? Lauren Michaels went away because he had a dispute.
Oh yes, it was a different boss.
Yeah. And it showed.
I'm sure.
But yeah, that's
Yeah, how can you say the Sandler cast is the worst? Come on.
Right. Nah, that's ridiculous.
Exactly. People do think that though. I mean, I guess they're older than us, so it's like a different viewpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going, man. My cat wants out.
Hey, where you going?
I'm still here.
Are we recording?
Where'd he go? Let me tell you something about Randy.
I said my cat wants out. Keep going.
Oh, sorry.
I had to go get
I heard
water.
you that time.
Oh man.
Yeah, Randy. So what's up? What's next?
Yes.
Before we get too derailed.
Right, we were all over the place.
Hey, I don't know. Why does I want a definitive answer. I'm gonna ask y'all this. Why is it the cool thing to hate The Big Bang Theory?
I thought
You know
you were
what?
gonna
I
say.
could genuinely go ahead, Melissa.
I thought he was gonna say, why is it cool to hate sitcoms? Because I'm ready to defend sitcoms at the drop of a hat, but I cannot defend The Big Bang.
The Big Bang Theory is a sitcom.
I can tell you from my viewpoint.
I trust your viewpoint.
I'm one of those cool people.
I think the show, for some reason, is really very stupid. So. I'm just joking. No, seriously. I think the thing is,
Poor Randy.
no, it's not. I've never seen it. So the thing
Eric,
is,
you're killing me.
no, the thing is, and from my viewpoint, I see people talking about it and curiously, like, why is this show so successful? I don't know anybody who's watched it. I always run into that person. No, I'm not trying to be funny. That's what I hear. Like, I've never seen a show in the whole cast at their peak was getting paid $1 million an episode.
Yep.
And people are like, why? The people I've come, I know one person who loves this show who actually seen it. That's my wife's stepmother, and she'll knock you out if you talk.
That's my mom. Yeah.
And I'm sure the show is great. I do want to check it out. I hear, but I've never actually heard anybody like down the show. It's just people who haven't seen it and they don't understand why it's so popular.
Yeah.
Okay,
What's
so
that guy's name? The creator.
Is it Lori?
Is it Lori?
Yes. Yeah.
So is it okay?
He is like a brilliant person. He knows how to create these CBS sitcoms that just last and last and last. He knows how to get middle America to watch these damn shows. I don't know what he's doing. He's putting drugs in the shows. Like, I love the show Mom. I love it, but I bet it's one of those shows that nobody talks about. No one knows anyone in real life who watches it. I don't have any friends who talk about it with me, but I have watched it all 8 or 9 seasons and loved every week. But yeah, he's brilliant. I never watched Big Bang Theory, but like Eric said, I think those fans are just so passionate. The fact that I watched Mom for 9 seasons and it's a multi-camera sitcom, that's crazy. Like, how many shows, it's rare that you find a show that you like that much, but I like
how many seasons?
8 or 9 for Mom.
And is that the Alice and Jenny show?
Yeah.
I just heard of the show, man.
Exactly. I liked it very quietly. Like, there's no passionate The Office fan base or Friends fan base for a show like Mom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but that guy's brilliant. Nobody has shows that last anymore, but that guy knows how to do it.
That show is 8 seasons?
How many did it run without Anna Faris?
I think it ran 1 or 2 more.
Okay.
And then they ended it, and they didn't even
Anna
want to
Faris was on the show?
Yeah.
She was the star.
I knew that.
And this show's been around 8 or 9 seasons.
It just finished at like the 8 or 9 season.
I just heard about this show like a minute ago.
Nobody talks about it.
It started like the year or the year after 2.5 Men ended.
Yeah, that makes sense. See, that's another
I've heard
one,
of it.
Lori.
I didn't know it was 9 seasons. God dog.
I know, it was very in the background. That's what I'm saying. He is brilliant at creating these long-running sitcoms.
Yeah,
he knows what Middle America wants.
He was involved with Roseanne. Roseanne's funny.
Yeah.
Except the last season's a mess.
In general, I think it's like on social media, it seems to be like a running joke. It's not just the Big Bang Theory. It's like, who watches CBS sitcoms?
Yeah.
I do.
It's just they're like the least popular station, but yet they're successful.
No, they've always had a run. In the 90s, they had Everybody Loves Raymond. Then they had
King
2.5 Men. They had King of Queens. Then they had How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
After How I Met Your Mother, they had Young Sheldon.
9 seasons. How I Met Your Mother.
They had Young Sheldon, the Big Bang Theory spinoff.
You know something? We mentioned this show.
That's very true.
CBS has always had a great show on for a good 25 years.
That's very true. It is.
I bet
true.
y'all forgot something though.
Nope.
A lot of people forget this. Family Matters. We mentioned the show.
Back to Family Matters.
No, it's for a reason.
Full
that
circle,
show
baby.
ran 8 seasons.
Yeah.
7 seasons on ABC. 1 season on CBS. People forget that.
That's like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, people. Yeah, it's because people forget when Urkel became an astronaut.
What's that?
No, I'm serious.
Tim Allen show switched channels too.
Oh.
Not Home Improvement, the current one.
Oh.
Yeah, because it just ended. I forget that current show.
Last Man Standing.
Yeah, Last Man
Did
Standing.
Family Guy move around? Or...
No, that's always been Fox.
Family Guy got canceled for a
I
couple
thought
of
it was
years.
Canceled twice and came
Oh,
back.
that's what it is.
Yeah,
So I knew something weird happened.
DVD saved it.
What's that?
No, DVD sales.
Oh, okay.
Digital video disc.
I heard that wrong. Yeah.
Oh man.
So the answer to my original question is people hate The Big Bang Theory because it's successful.
No.
Now I
Randy.
understand
I
it.
Okay, finally, I'm gonna try and answer this question.
Oh.
But I think we already did. Like, Chuck Lorre just knows. But anyway, I was on a cruise once with my brother. And the funny thing is, there was a TV in our cabin. And they kept showing the same thing over and over again. So it was like one episode of How I Met Your Mother, one episode of Big Bang Theory. And our mom has been trying to push the show on us for years. So we're like, let's watch this stupid show. And like, it's the same. They kept showing the same episode over and over again. And we were like, God damn, we don't like this. Like that guy, what's his name? The David from Roseanne?
Leonard.
Yeah, he's so annoying, man. He was so whiny on the show, and we kept hearing him whine the same line over and over again. And we're like, why would anyone like this? Like,
Oh wow.
we love Kaylee Cuoco, though. She's bomb.
Indeed.
I like her
Yeah.
on every show. I even watched 8 Simple Rules or something.
How is young Sheldon?
It's funny.
Okay, sure. You and my mom would get along like
It's
gangbusters.
funny, man. Like if you sit through 12 seasons of The Big Bang Theory and you know
Yeah.
Sheldon the character,
12
then
seasons?
yeah, then you watch
Sitcom? It's like
then
real actors.
you
It's
watch a
not animated?
prequel spin-off that to see him as a little kid, like it's good. It's really good.
I totally watched Little Chandler or something.
Yeah, but you know what? Seriously, I think Randy is the one that actually told me about this. Speaking of those shows, those young shows,
Young
I was-
Chandler.
I was just bruising.
Yes.
I was just browsing Peacock on the WWF, and they advertised Young Rock.
Young Rock is probably one of the
that's a
top
good
shows
show,
on
though.
right now.
That show is really good.
That's a good show.
Young Rock is hilarious.
Sorry,
That's
Randy. I keep
crazy how
saying
good-
Bo. Like, that's a good show, though. No, that's a good show.
It's amazing how the format of it is. It keeps things fresh. It's not linear, so it doesn't get boring.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
and what's his name is awesome on the show. What is his name? The interviewer.
Randall Park.
Randall Park is great on that
Oh,
show.
yeah. Did you guys
Yeah.
ever watch Fresh Off the Boat? That's a good sitcom.
Yeah, that didn't make that one.
That was
3
totally
seasons?
meant for me. Randy, did you ever watch that?
Nah.
You would relate because I'm throwing another new show at you, but like you would relate because it's like that show is meant for me. It's like it's based in the 90s. There's 3 kids. And, like I'm the middle of 2 brothers. It's perfect for me. But Eddie, the main kid, is the oldest kid. It's exactly how I grew up. Like Asian kid loving hip hop. Like I know Randy's not Asian, but he totally would relate. The kid is so into hip hop. Like that's his whole life. Basketball, hip hop. He loves black culture. Like it's so relatable. It's like there are so many Asian kids that went through this. Like we didn't really have Bruce Lee or like, you know what I mean? Like there's so few Asian heroes in North America. So a lot of us gravitate towards black culture. Like, you know, I'm obsessed with Mariah, Rihanna. I don't know if you guys know that, but like we look up to people that we can relate to, and we relate on this different level. Like, wow, they're not white, and they actually made it. Like, that's how we see it through that lens. But Randy would love the whole 90s hip hop angle of the whole show. But anyways, that's such a good show. You know, one of the first successful Asian American shows so good, so funny. I think it lasted 5 seasons. It was so sad when it ended, but
And Constance Wu.
she was not sad when it ended. Did you guys hear about that all?
Yeah.
I think I heard like peripherally something.
I feel like
it was a huge controversy. It was that day on Twitter was hilarious. It was like,
oh man,
her show got renewed for season 6 or something, and she was throwing a public fit about it because she wanted a movie career. Oh my god, it was so funny. Everyone was like, "What are you doing?"
Wasn't like Crazy Rich Asians had just hit or something, or Hustlers or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hustlers had just hit. Man, it was, or maybe it was about to hit. Sorry, so maybe Randy's right. Crazy Rich Asians had just come. But anyways, everyone's like, "What are you doing? Like, who does that?" And those poor kids who are probably praying and hoping the show gets renewed, and then it does, and then their mother on TV is like, "No."
You know what? Since you brought that up, Melissa, that's
endlessly funny. Sorry.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. That's the thing. Like an actor or a main character wants to leave to pursue something else, and and it sucks for the rest of the cast or whatever.
Yeah.
Isn't that why Friends ended?
Man. So what's that, Randy?
Isn't that why Friends ended? Like Jennifer Aniston wanted to do more movies.
No. Well, yes and no. But can I defend Jennifer Aniston as a loyal fan?
Always.
She was able to make huge blockbuster movies throughout the running of Friends. Remember Bruce Almighty?
Yeah.
Like, that never stopped her making movies or the show running. I think after 10 years they finally came to a collective agreement, and Matt LeBlanc was the only one who was like, "I will never want to end this show," which is why he did Joey. Like, he was the one who was like, "Why are we ending this? This is stupid."
Anti-Frasier.
And at the reunion, Matthew Perry said, "I regret that we ended it when we did." So I think they did agree. Maybe she was pushing it. I don't know the truth, but I think they all kind of was like, 10 years, that's a lot. Like, you know, and I'm sure, you know, some of them were starting families and stuff. It was probably
It was also
she was able to make huge blockbuster movies, and that's what I said when the whole Constance Wu thing happened. But then someone was like, "Melissa, she's Chinese, it's different." And you know what, that's true. Like, who knows if she would have the opportunities Jen Aniston was allowed to have during that show. She was the biggest star on the planet at that time. I'm sure the producers were like, "You can do whatever you want, just come back and film your 20 minutes."
What's the name? Jason Segel wanted to end How I Met Your Mother. They had to talk him into doing the last season because he wanted to. He either wanted to leave or end it or movies. I don't remember his specific reason, but it was similar.
People just get tired of the sitcom schedule. They.
Well, yeah, there's that too, of course.
Yeah, that's nuts. I don't know if it was Friends or Frasier to make that those blockbuster deal for the stars to get paid like $1 million.
Friends. I know exactly what happened. So it was such a cool landmark thing. They wanted to pay David Schwimmer more because he had more experience and he was actually starring in movies back then.
Yeah.
He and his mother, who's a lawyer, his mother sat him down and was like, "You don't want to do this because it will create resentment around within the crew." She's brilliant, a brilliant mastermind. She was like, "You all have to negotiate together. There's no way they can say no to all 6 of you." And then that's when they started earning more and more, and eventually getting to $1 million per episode. She is brilliant because look how many casts did not get along. Sex and the City, apparently even Seinfeld. There's always a star getting paid more, and the other ones like are fighting or whatever. But Friends was the true ensemble show, and then Big Bang did the same thing, which was very, very smart of them.
So I know what happened with Frasier. Kelsey Grammer became the highest paid sitcom star with $2 million in episode.
That makes perfect sense. Yep.
So what you said, and speaking of which, we talk about sitcom. What a dream career!
Yes, hell yes.
He played Frasier because Frasier's a spinoff character.
Yeah.
From
20 years.
Was Cheers.
It's like the best spinoff.
Yeah, the GOAT spinoff.
Yeah.
So he played that character for what, 20 years?
Yeah, because he came in like season 3.
How many seasons is Cheers, Randy?
Cheers is 11 seasons, but Frasier started like season 3.
So that's 8 plus 11 seasons.
Man,
19
that's nuts.
Yeah, Frasier's 11.
I love Cheers and Frasier.
I love Frasier. I never got into Cheers. I was telling Randy, but I love Frasier's in my top 10. Yeah, I love it.
I think Cheers is what really laid the groundwork for Seinfeld and Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
Actually.
Here we go.
Nerd.
The doctor is in.
Super nerd.
So I wanted to talk about that with Friends.
I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Is it Living Single?
It's been yeah confirmed. Literally, the dude he said, I want a show like that with white people.
Who said that?
NBC, the CEO of NBC.
The guy running NBC at the time.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't trying to be petty. He saw how successful it was at the time, and he's like, hey, I want a successful show like that. And, you know, it's the white people thing that kind of spent the way he said it. They're like, because it's been confirmed numerous people witness accounts.
Yeah, I believe
you know how they are at the boardroom. I want a show like that with white people.
But you know what else? There's this movie Singles, Cameron Crowe. Have you guys seen that?
Oh, yeah, Bridget Fonda.
That also seems like Friends took from it. It's very Friends-like when you watch this movie. I think it was 92.
Yeah, was it Matt Dillon and all that?
Yeah. And even Cameron Crowe is like, what the hell, man? They took my movie and made it a show. Like, I'm not going to pretend it's a original idea or that the show is perfect. I know it has its flaws, but it is my personal favorite, you know.
Yeah, no, it's a great show. You can't take that away from it at all.
It really, like, helped me during hard years, and I have so much love for that show.
Yeah. It become a lot of sitcoms.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying, Eric. I get it.
But no, it's it is what it is. But you know, that's what The Simpsons did a great episode about that.
Oh, I gotta watch this.
The Simpsons, they were in the boardroom. Was it the episode with Poochie? It was one of the meetings. They were making fun of all networks. They were in the board meeting like, we need a TV show that everybody will watch. I'm like, and they're like, okay, it's time to do some research. Let's see what everybody else is doing. And they brought out the little portable TVs and started looking at the other channels. Like, I got it. This station is doing that, so let's do that, but different, but the same.
Yes.
It's kind of like the line from what's the name?
It's the James Franco gif.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's like how we talk about movies. I mean, you know how Netflix just let's find a movie and do it different.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know, it's all over the place like that. Totally. And I mean, there's so many things with Friends that's suspect. Like, why did it need to be 6 white people in Manhattan? There's so many things, but I was so young and they were so smart at making people like that show, and it just really was lightning in a bottle. You know, like it was so must see Thursday night TV. You know, everyone was tuning in.
But that's a constant problem. I mean, tell me this. Y'all know about Friends so much. You know, how many seasons was it before they got a regular black character? Has there ever been an Asian character on
Honestly,
Friends?
like 9.
And on season 2,
Season 2 had an Asian girl.
There we go. And yeah, it's just like you said.
Aisha Tyler was in what?
Like
they were all just people that they dated, and they were rare.
Gabrielle Union was in one episode, like season 6 or 7.
Aisha
Tyler was like, I think season 10.
Was way later in the show. Aisha Tyler was like season 9. And, and Sex and the City's the same. Yeah. The exact same. Sex and the City's even worse.
It is. Somebody brought something up. You tell me this, Melissa. You are familiar with the show.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, what's her name? Jennifer Hudson.
Yes.
So people complain about, I guess it was an episode or a stream.
No. She was in the first movie. The movie was great. Her character was not. It was kind of racist. Just putting it out there.
Somebody mentioned, I'm not familiar with it, but you tell me, like, it's what people call, it's a unfortunate trope.
Yes, exactly.
Then the one, it's the magical Negro.
Yes.
Trope.
I know exactly what you're saying. And all this critique came out when the movie came out.
Yeah. And she did something to help Carrie, and she disappeared after that. And
is there a character in Gone with the Wind like this?
Well, yeah, it's the
I don't know the movie. Don't yell at me.
No. This movie like 80 years old.
I'm not watching no Gone with the Wind.
But I know it's one of the all-time best, apparently.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely these characters were normalized, and you know, Hattie McDaniel won an Oscar, and she had to go to the kitchen to get
you. Yes.
She wasn't even invited to the awards.
The creators and the writers of Sex and the City, straight up, these are like very ignorant people. Very, very ignorant people. They could be very progressive when it came to like gay relations and sexual orientation, but when it came to race, very ignorant, bigoted people. And that really shows in the shows and especially the movies, because the movies try to be woke about race, but they're so not.
Yeah, they're so out of touch.
It just fails so badly. And the second movie's even worse. Yeah. But the first movie, Jennifer Hudson plays like Carrie's assistant. This is them trying to be diverse. Mm-hmm. She plays her assistant that helps Carrie through this horrible crisis in her
Isn't
life.
this Academy Award winning Jennifer Hudson at the time?
Yes, exactly.
No, I'm sorry, go ahead, Melissa.
Who's now Aretha Franklin?
Carrie through this crisis, and the complaint is she doesn't get to really be her own person. She's just there to service this white main character, right? That's the complaint. That's the trope. Like, she's like the savior, the black savior of Carrie. She does have her own character, but I mean, I totally get the complaint. I mean, you're going to bring in a black character, and that's what you do with it. Like, and then the second movie, they go to the Middle East, and it's so offensively bad the way they treat Middle Eastern customs. Oh my God, it's so bad. But yeah, I've seen these movies a million times. I love them.
Yeah.
But yeah, those writers are so, like you said, out of touch is the perfect way to describe it.
And we're talking, since we're on sitcoms, it's...
Yo, let's cap it. All right, so...
The rehearsal over. All right,
yeah.
Is this recording or not?
Yeah, we're recording now.
You gotta tell us.
That was the dry run. So,
what was your question, original?
Melissa was going into why the Seinfeld finale is so bad.
Oh man, I just went on a huge rant that Randy didn't record.
Oops. I just looked down at like my bar on the top of my keyboard and I didn't see like numbers counting, so I was like, and then I saw the record box at the bottom of the screen.
To try to set up, if you love the show Seinfeld, you love its characters, and you totally get where they're coming from in every situation. Whereas the creators are like, oh, you hate these terrible characters, they're so flawed, and now we're gonna give them their comeuppance in the finale. Yeah. I didn't like that because I love those characters. I can relate to Jerry in so many situations. I can relate to Elaine in so many situations. I understand why they are the way they are. So for them to twist it in the finale and be like, now we're going to give the comeuppance to these horrible people, it didn't feel earned. It felt like a slap to the fan base. Like, you love these people? Well, actually, they're horrible, and, you know, you should hate them, and here's why. So... I didn't really like that, and it didn't feel earned to me at all after 9 years of loving these characters and relating to them. And I love the show because I can relate to them in those situations. That's what I love so much about the show. You don't love the show because they're hateable. You don't love hating them.
I did want Jerry to finally get his show.
You know what I mean? They're supposed to be the protagonists.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't like the finale. Did you like it, Randy?
I didn't hate it, but I wanted Jerry to finally get his show, and then...
Well, there you go.
Because of some random law in some city that they're unaware of, this is what's going on. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if sitcoms really have, like, the best series finales. Like,
once in a while, The Office was pretty good. What do you think, Eric?
About the finale to Seinfeld?
Of The Office. I thought that was a good finale for a sitcom.
The Office?
Yeah. But
I don't know, it's probably just me being a fan, but yeah, it's basically what more can you ask for? I think it was decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was saying in my rant that Randy didn't record, that I think Larry David loves that loves that idea of, oh, my characters are so hateable and here's their comeuppance and everyone hates them, but you want your characters to get happiness in the end, which is like what The Office tried to do, Friends tried to do. It just was so upsetting.
Even with Seinfeld, they didn't, like you said, they were trying to go that direction. I guess, I don't know, Larry David and Seinfeld himself got away from the fan base or whatever, because it seems jarring.
Yes.
That's a good word for it. At least to go as far to that side that they went. I think they could have found somewhere in the middle, and they didn't. They went too far.
They're like nihilistic. And I know he was like, no hugging, no learning, but it's like, do you have to go that far with it? Do you have to be so cynical?
Yeah.
You know, especially not after 9 years, it's supposed to be a celebration. Everyone's sad that the show's ending, and this is what you're gonna do. It's like.
But speaking of which, I mentioned several shows. There's a lot of sitcoms that end on that that sour note.
Oh, really?
I mean, and there's one show in particular. I don't know if you ever watched it. Y'all definitely heard of it. It actually blew up on Netflix. It was Dinosaurs. Y'all remember that
The
sitcom?
90s ABC show Dinosaurs?
Yeah, Knock
Yeah.
the Mama.
Yeah.
I mean, how did y'all think that show was gonna end? Dinosaurs.
Yeah, well, I didn't watch it, but I can guess. Yeah, based on science.
And Alf. Remember Alf?
Yep.
He eats cats.
Yeah, y'all remember the finale, Alf?
No.
Can you remind me?
Well, he finally got caught, and the show ended with them spending their days, or him having his days being experimented on and tortured.
Oh, like
That
Basically,
sucks.
that's the simple.
Yo,
damn.
Eric, you're old. Which
Thanks.
which new dude? One of the Bob Newhart sitcoms, like the finale, like tied into his other show or something.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that, not because I didn't watch.
Oh, there's been so much freezing today.
Nope, Randy.
He's back.
Yeah,
What you said? We missed if you said something.
the
last
internet's
second.
fucked up. No, I don't know. My internet connection's ass today.
No, it happens, but
Yeah.
It was like perfect last episode, and this episode is every 5 minutes.
yeah, no, it ain't too bad. But yeah, it's another. We mentioned Martin, right?
Yeah.
And the last season of that show was quite bizarre.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
This tends to happen a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if Randy knows exactly the reason I'm talking about.
Oh, for sure.
Melissa, you familiar what happened with the actors?
Was that when Martin was kind of like going off the rails a bit and having trouble with Tisha, or?
Yeah, that's it. And they spent like the last episodes.
I think you guys talked to me about this before a little bit.
Yeah, and they were not in the same scenes together.
Yeah, I don't think they shared a scene together the whole last season.
Yeah.
Damn.
Cause she got a new job in Cali.
That wasn't a ratings thing. That was like a Martin Lawrence thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sort of like, and you know what? And they've actually reconciled.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Since, but you know, what happened. And she called him on it. So basically, they were messing around.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know, it happens. You know, you're around each other 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
6-7 days a week, and basically, she met somebody, Dwayne Martin, and
she ended it with him, I guess.
yeah, and that's the thing, they were just messing around. It wasn't a relationship, and she told him, and he overstepped, and she like, hey, I'm in a serious relationship, and that.
Damn. This sounds familiar.
Yeah, but that was unfortunate for yeah. But I gotta bring this up. You all familiar with Morton Nathan?
No.
But you all brought up one of his probably his most popular sitcom that he wrote and produced, The Golden Girls.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
So, and this is going back to, we were speaking Sex and the City, for example, how some writers are just out of touch.
Yeah.
So Morton Nathan created a show that
the
came
girls
out
weren't
in
even golden.
What was that?
The girls weren't even golden.
No. And
They
people
weren't
just
even
forget.
girls.
People
Yeah.
forget about the Golden Palace too. But
Yeah, me and my mom love that show. Don Cheadle was
Don
on
Cheadle.
it, which is great. We only just figured this out. Like, I don't think we watched it in the original run, but I was able to find it in horrible quality, and I was like, "Holy shit, it's Don Cheadle!" Anyway,
he's been around a minute, but no. So Morton Nathan.
Ice Tray. Remember? Is that his name?
I got Fresh Prince on right now.
Wow.
Yeah, Ice Tray. I think is that his name, Randy?
Yeah.
And
So
Don
funny.
Cheadle, it's something about him in that episode of Fresh Prince. We're gonna get to that. So Morton Nathan created a show in 1998. And
98.
I was speaking. It's a show called The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer.
Grace Under Fire.
Great to the fire. Have you heard of this one, Randy?
Nah.
So this show was controversial. I'm curious. I want to know this. How this show, y'all know a little something about the process of creating a show bringing it. I mean, not doing it. Would you?
I'm completely
wish.
unaware.
I would love to.
All of the stages it has to go through. You have to write the concept. You have to get it approved. You have to get the budget. You have to get it filmed.
Yeah.
So this show, The Secret Diary of Desmond Pfeiffer, it's a sitcom, got all the way to air. Y'all don't know what the show is about yet. I'm about to tell y'all. All right.
The anticipation builds.
So basically, y'all know Shy McBride, the actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the show is, he's Desmond Pfeiffer. And the show takes place during when Abraham Lincoln is president.
Oh.
I'm out.
And Shy McBride plays Desmond Pfeiffer, the butler. And that's the sitcom.
Oh.
So basically, the show takes place. It's a sitcom about slavery.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Sorry, it's no Big Bang.
And not only that, you put it on a network that's predominantly targeted toward black people, UPN.
Oh.
Come
wow.
on, man.
So what the hell y'all trying to tell us?
Warner
Wow.
Brothers is still
You know
gonna
what I
Warner
mean?
Brothers.
And that's what I mean. How did this?
Did he play a slave actually?
They call him a butler.
But yeah,
Code.
there's no
Yeah.
salary and benefit.
Yeah, back in those days, they trying to dress it up. You know, but you know what I mean. How did
Yikes.
this? Even
Big
in
time.
1998, you know
How
what I
long?
mean.
How long did it last?
It didn't last
6 episodes.
I mean, it lasted a season, just episodes, but still, how did it get to the point to where this is all right? You know what I mean? That's just.
And it's interesting because Golden Girls, some would argue with me, but it wasn't that horrible for that time. Like, I think Sex and the City and Friends could be even more ignorant. You know, like Golden Girls at least had, you know, they at least tried to confront issues head on.
The
Like-
Golden Palace did that with
Exactly, with
Yeah,
Don Cheadle. Yeah.
straight on.
They tried to like face those issues instead of let's pretend there's no black people in
Yeah.
New York. You know what I mean? Which Friends tried to do and Sex and the City definitely tried to do. They dated millions of white men on that show. Every white actor that's ever existed has been
Yeah.
on that show. You know, like,
And even
but
when there
Golden
is,
Girls at least tried. Like Sophia dated a Japanese man, and this is in the '80s, and she was like
Yeah.
80 herself. Like, you know, it was. She was like on a sushi date with him. Like, it was just very natural. That never happened on Sex and the City or Friends, which is crazy.
yeah,
Can
and
you
there, and when it
believe
does happen, Melissa, there's one episode that I've read about in Sex and the City. I forget which one of them dated a black man, and it was
Yeah,
like this
so-
list of
Yeah. So
stereotype.
Samantha dated a black guy, and then Miranda dated Blair Underwood, which was amazing. But yeah, but when Samantha dated a black character, it was like very stereotypical, and they made him talk in this slang that was so unnatural. Like, it's so bad. So they're all at like it's so bad. They're all at a restaurant, and then like Samantha and his sister get into a fight because his sister's like, I don't want him dating anybody white. And then she's like, excuse me, you don't even know me. And then they start fighting, and then the guy, his name is Siobhan, he tries to break them up, and he's like, come on, yo, keep it real, keep it real. This is how they made him talk on the
You
show.
know who's writing this shit. I'm sorry.
Yes. And they made like really bad jokes about, you know, him being black and,
Yeah.
you know, I'm
But
not going to
yeah,
say
I'm
it
just-
on the air, but you know what I mean. But they did a better job 3 seasons later with Blair Underwood. You know, he's
Yeah.
a great actor. He's so sexy. Woo, one of the most handsome men they've ever had on that show. It's like, okay, finally, you know, you're putting men on there.
Somebody trying to.
That's my type. But yeah, he was a real character. Like, he was a sports doctor, and he, you know, he was really in with the Knicks, and it was a lot less stereotypical. He was like a real good character. But I think they tried to learn their lessons, and, you know, I don't know, maybe he even had input, because it was a
Yeah.
lot better done, and he had a real arc, whereas Siobhan was just a one-off
that's
one-off
cool.
character. Yeah, but Blair Underwood was actually in several episodes, and a lot of people are like to kind of spoil. Like a lot of people are like, Miranda's insane that she didn't end up with, because he's like the dream guy. So that was actually cool, but it took them 6 years to get there. That was their last season. Exactly like the Aisha Tyler thing. Like, it took all the way to the end for them to be like, let's put a real character in there that's not just a stereotype, you know?
Okay. Which
Randy.
which of the two of you are closet Mama's Family fans?
I don't know these shows.
Oh, you know Mama's Family.
I'm just trying to think of the most random shows I can just throw out here just to say we talked about it.
Old school Americana.
Eric,
no, I got a random.
Did you ever watch the Drew Carey
I'm
show?
Familiar with it. Never got into that show. That's way.
Yeah, me neither.
Randy, you were asking about Everybody Loves Raymond before, so you're a big Raymond fan, right?
I love Raymond.
But did you not get into King of Queens, right? That's a spinoff of Raymond, right?
I watched.
Yeah, right? Isn't it?
He would come on and he would play like a character named Kevin for like early on, and then like
was he a postal worker?
I don't think they said, but they eventually rewrote his character to be Doug.
Cool.
And then
okay. So it's not really a spinoff. It's more just like Raymond kind of helped make him famous, maybe.
Kind of,
right?
yeah. Like Raymond characters have been on King of Queens too, so I mean, who's to say?
He's been on three episodes with Patricia Heaton.
Yeah.
He was on one. Yeah.
I mean, like I've told you, like off the show, like I've seen random episodes. I have the box set that come out a couple years ago. It's in the bubble with The Office that eventually I'll give it its fair start to finish.
Yeah, because I think you'll like it.
I do.
I had to really be convinced. Being a woman and seeing all these sitcoms of like the schlubby guy and the super gorgeous wife, I really wrote it off for so long. And I never was a big Raymond fan. I think that, what's his name? Ray Romano is hysterical. I actually really liked him when he was on Letterman getting his start. Like, me and my brother thought, wow, this guy's good, before he even had his show. So I did really try to get into it, but I never did. And then I wrote off King of Queens for so long because of that stereotype of the schlubby guy and the beautiful wife. And it definitely is. I mean, Leah Remini, she is just drop dead beautiful on that show. It's unrealistic how beautiful she is. But, my brother has been pushing the show on me for so long because I love Jerry Stiller. And I finally got into it, and now I'm obsessed. And now it's in my top 10. I love it. It's such a good, funny show. And instead of being what you think, this idiot husband and this suffering wife, it plays with that very well. Whereas Carrie, the wife, she's actually kind of evil herself. Like, she's kind of like underhanded. And it took them a while to get there. They had to find their footing. But she is not your stereotypical suffering wife where the husband's always the idiot. In fact, Doug is very sensitive, and she can be very underhanded, and I like that. Like, it's not the stereotype of what you'd expect. So I ended up like loving the show so much. It's so funny. So I think you would like it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
A serious question, not Mama's Family question. Why don't people give Will Smith the respect for showing all that range on Fresh Prince before he was really in movies like that?
Hey, I think my generation gives him his due. Why did he become that big, huge movie star, right?
Yeah.
Because he had that blueprint, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if he didn't have that Fresh Prince thing for our generation, who's to say who would go out to see all those movies like Independence Day and Bad Boys?
And you know what? You can see him improving y'all mentioned Don Cheadle. Look at the episode specifically when Don Cheadle was on Fresh Prince. You'll see Will Smith mouthing. So there's a thing that amateur actors do.
They talked about this on the reunion, right?
Yeah, he mouthed the line.
Yeah,
and
he was so
he
young.
did it a lot.
I never noticed until he said that.
Yeah.
There's no way out.
Somebody pointed it out. But no, Melissa, what you were saying, that's not the case at all, really, is it?
Yeah, come on, Randy. People know he's a good actor.
Hey, man. I'm just saying, like, we know he's funny. I think he doesn't do more straightforward comedy movies because of all the comedy in Fresh Prince. That's just me, though. But then he's got, like the episode where his dad shows up and bails on him.
Oh, yeah.
That hits me every time. That hits me. And then the one where he got shot.
Yeah.
Of course. I can't even watch that one. That one's so hard for me to watch. But yeah, he's damn good. I mean, he learned a lot, like Eric said. He really
James Avery, man.
Yeah, there's another episode, you don't really talk about it. It's a little serious moment. And it's the episode when he and Carlton are trying to get into a certain
fraternity?
Fraternity at the college.
With Glenn Plummer.
Yeah, when Glenn
Top
Plummer's
Dog.
the dude.
Ah.
And at this moment, it always sticks out to me. There's one acting beat that Will Smith did. Glenn Plummer said something to Carlton, and Will Smith came up like, "Yo, you gonna chill with that?" And he's like, "Hold on, you." I think Randy knows exactly what I'm talking about. And Carlton was like, "Hold on, I got this." I'm like, man, it looked like it was such a split second. You don't really pay attention, but you look at it, you see.
No, I thought you was gonna. I thought you was gonna bring up the one where Carlton was on speed too. That's a good emotional episode too.
Yeah.
And I thought you were gonna bring up the one where they get arrested, and that's really early on. And Will does a great job. For him to put down his acting, he actually was really good from the start, and that's why they gave him that show. They were like, "Oh, there's something with this kid.
Yeah,
like, he's
charisma.
Like, he's special. Yeah, he's charismatic. But yeah, that arrested one. That's probably like season 2 or maybe the end of season 1 or something.
It's 1 or 2.
Early. And he does a great job. Like, he's so damn funny.
Let my people
Yeah, we've done it. Or what is it?
They just start randomly singing and shit.
Oh man.
That's such a good episode, and they did a great job. Like, we're talking about shows that go right for the issues, like Golden Girl, Saved by the Bell.
Man, I feel like the 80s and 90s shows, like the 80s and 90s shows, wanted to bring up the like serious issues and stuff, and it flowed so well.
Full House.
But then like you got shows like I would watch the Carmichael show. Like I think Gerard Carmichael's underrated as hell.
Yeah,
but
he's
like.
great.
Every episode was like, okay, this is the issue of the week, and that's what a lot of TV has become these days. Even like Shameless, that's what Shameless turned into
was
too.
Such a big revolution because they tried to like not do that.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Favorite? Well, it's already the one I named. Y'all favorite non-laugh track sitcom?
Curb and Sex and the City. For sure.
There we go. Because people tend to
they're
forget.
both HBO, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
But The Office is up there, but Curb and Sex and the City are like in my top.
Yeah. Randy, you ever gotten to Curb?
No,
I want to.
Oh, man. Yeah,
just because of the Seinfeld connection, I want to check it out.
And there's one episode, I think it's from not the recent season, but the last. So my wife is into Hamilton.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And I randomly was watching it, and she, Lin-Manuel, that was like...
That's so good. I just think about Curb and I start laughing. Like that's how good it is.
Yeah, you're like, yo, you gotta, like, he's making a power play with them, sitting at the desk. Then that's
so good.
And going back to, I don't know if he still thinks that people don't like his character because he's in some of the most relatable situations ever.
Exactly. Thank you. And I'm not always on his side. Like I think he's getting worse and worse. But there are some like, especially
you can tell he ramped it up a bit because he's
becoming an asshole now. But in the middle of the show, especially, he finds himself in these situations where I'm totally 100% on his side, and the other person is being so irrational. But it's realistic because you run into really irrational people in your daily life, and that's what's so cathartic about that show. And for him to say, "Oh, my characters are flawed and hateable," and it's like, no, I actually love these characters. Everyone thinks they are Larry David. Everyone thinks that. When you watch the show, you think that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, nothing.
No, but no, one in particular that I like, and he was talking on the phone to who's his buddy? I can't brain fart. Yeah, Jeff. He was talking to Jeff, and Jeff was in a car or whatever, and we're seeing, and he had Larry on speakerphone, and Larry said something.
He didn't tell Larry.
That's not Larry's fault.
I know. And then he's like, well, Hitler's making me go to this thing. And he's talking about his wife.
Yes.
And then Jeff's parents are in the car and they're like, Hitler, you call your wife Hitler?
Yes. I'm like, come on, man. You always, that's etiquette to tell a person they're on speakerphone,
and
especially
not only are they best friends, but he's his manager.
That shit happened to me at work the other day.
You can't treat your clients like that.
But yeah, no, sorry, Randy, we're going on.
Randy, do you like any non-laugh track sitcoms?
Does New Girl have a laugh track?
The New Girl's a perfect perfect example.
That's a great show. Yeah.
There you go.
New Girl, The Office.
Halfway through season 2, New Girl's amazing. I am
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I am the laugh track.
Did you get into Happy Endings, Randy?
No.
Oh damn, that's like New School Friends, but with no laugh track. It's so good.
As funny as
Man,
New Girl
shows,
is,
Randy, you would love all these shows. I'm telling you.
as funny as New Girl has been so far, I have beef with Damon Wayans for bailing.
Have you
came back?
You're not at the part where he
No
came back,
spoilers,
right?
fool.
Hey.
I already told no.
Yeah, I know he comes back.
No, Happy Endings is so good that you're gonna be like, he made the perfect decision to leave. He played like the Chandler on that show. And
Okay, Black Chandler, I'll take it.
It is so the perfect answer of the New School Friends. Like, I know it sounds like a checkbox thing, like one of them is black, one of them is gay, but it's such a good show. And Damon is married on that show to one of the white actors. And it's so funny and it's so good. Oh my God. Randy, you need to catch up, man.
I don't have time for all this TV.
That's so something that would be up your alley. Oh, like we were saying, all these new school shows, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Indie Project, none of them have laugh tracks because, you know, laugh tracks is like a 50s thing. I don't know how it kept going. Like How I Met Your Mother, it feels so out of place. That 70s show, it feels out of place. Like, but people love that multi.
One of my favorite ones, Schitt's Creek.
That one doesn't have, that's a good one.
Man,
Fresh Off the Boat doesn't have it. These are like these new school ones. ABC.
Eric, did you watch The League?
CBS loves that old school model, I guess.
Yeah.
And NBC to a point, but I don't know if any shows last on NBC anymore.
What did you say, Randy?
Have y'all seen like The League or Wilfred? I've been watching Dave on FXX.
Sorry,
And I heard
It's Always Sunny.
Good.
That's a long running sitcom with no laugh track.
Yes, that show was great.
Yeah.
And Wilfred with Elijah Wood, right?
Yeah.
What's it
that
about,
show.
Randy?
Well, Elijah, it's based on, I think, like an Australian show.
Australian
the
version.
creator,
The same dude plays the dog.
Yeah, the creator plays the dog.
I know what you're talking about.
And Elijah Wood has like some mental health things, and he sees his neighbor's dog, but he sees
Dressed
a guy
as a
in a
man.
dog suit.
Yeah.
It sounds wild, but it's good. I swear it's good.
Yeah.
Well, Elijah's good. I'm not surprised.
He is. He's real good, and it's a good show. I recommend however you see an FX show.
On FX, it's probably on Hulu.
Yeah, there we go.
Actually, Hulu's pumping out some good shows here and there too. I can't come up with any names, but yeah, there's some good.
What about
Since why haven't we talked about this? Sitcoms on streaming like
Netflix?
Yeah, you got Mike Epps' new show.
I tried that. I didn't like it.
Jamie Foxx has one. I like the Mike
I
Epps
like
show.
Marlon Wayans' show, the first season.
Yeah, that was on NBC, right?
That one was on
I
NBC.
saw it on Netflix,
I watched both. I watched both seasons of that. It was pretty funny.
I liked the first season a lot. I was like, that was totally up my alley. I love the woman who plays his wife. Like, that was great. I love his friends.
Essence Atkins?
Like, the whole ensemble on that show was good. Sorry, Randy, what were you gonna ask us for?
I was gonna ask if you guys watched the Danny McBride HBO shows.
I watched the one. He's a baseball player. What?
Eastbound and Down.
Yeah, Eastbound.
Yeah, I watched that.
It's
I don't
hysterical.
even know if I'd say is that a sitcom?
I don't know.
I remember it being kind of dark.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think shows like that and Entourage are more drama shows.
That's where it gets
sitcoms.
a little iffy. I still call Sex and the City and Gilmore Girls sitcoms. Some people argue with me that they're not, but they're very light. They're very light in tone. That's why I say
I always thought like the basic cable, NBC, CBS, Fox, I thought those were sitcoms.
Yeah, but you're thinking of multi-camera sitcoms.
Yeah.
And then there's single camera sitcoms like Herb or Sex and the City. You're thinking of the ones with the studio audience, but that's just in my opinion that's just one type.
Yeah.
Sitcoms, like I was telling Randy, situational comedy. That's why I count Gilmore Girls. That's why I count Sex and the City.
And
they're
speaking
40,
of that,
they're 40 minutes, but they're still really funny.
And what you just said, Melissa, speaking of it, you wouldn't believe how the average person who watches sitcoms don't know what it's short for.
Yeah, I agree. They think it's that multicam thing, and they're like, oh, I don't like sitcoms, and that's why I always defend sitcoms because it's like if you watch The Simpsons, you're watching a sitcom. You know what I mean?
At the top, I almost said sitting down comedy, and I was like, no, that's not it.
That's funny. Sit down and be calm, right?
Yeah. Sitting comedy, situational comedy.
But so many
My
things
life.
fall under that umbrella, in my opinion. Yeah. Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, people don't realize, but that's a sitcom. That's a very traditional sitcom. It just doesn't have the laugh track in the studio audience. Like, did you know How I Met Your Mother, Randy? That's not a real audience. That's just the track they put in.
Don't shatter my
I'm ruining
glass.
it now. Yeah.
Don't shatter my glass.
And it's always great.
How I Met Your Mother is amazing.
It is good, but
It's awesome when shows break the fourth wall. Like Fresh Prince did it geniusly.
Saved by the Bell.
When Zach used to do it all the time. But I mean, literally with Fresh Prince, there was an episode where
they
played a prank on Carlton.
Yeah.
And what happened? What was it? No, yeah, the
was
character.
it like he burned down the kitchen and then he started screaming, or is that the one?
Oh no, it was when
he's like crawling
they
through the
tried to play a
kitchen.
prank on Will Smith.
Oh.
And then Carlton played a prank, and then Will found out, and he reversed the prank on Carlton and said, Lisa tried to kill me, and I left her up there. You're like, no! And that's when he ran all around the
Yeah.
And that's the first time a lot of people actually saw like the setup of a sitcom.
Yeah. It was like a Letterman thing. Like, going into that.
But yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, a lot of those are just tracks. Saved by the Bell, that's not a real audience, I don't think.
No, they didn't do it in front of a
like Seinfeld had a real audience, Friends had a real audience, but a lot of these newer ones, like, they don't know, you know what I mean? I don't know about that 70s show. I feel like that's a track.
Yeah, that's definitely track. But let me ask you.
Did you ever get into that 70s show, Randy?
I did not. I was
Again, I'm like, that's a Randy show.
I was born in the 80s.
You like all these shows.
I was born in the 80s and raised in the 90s. I can't relate to the 70s.
Okay, it's a 2000s show.
Okay.
These people are our peers. Like,
you don't have to directly relate to it. Yeah, but they thought they had something, and they made the 80s show.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I watched that 80s show.
Yeah, Randy and I were talking about that, too.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't
care about the 70s either, Randy, but trust me, you'll like the show.
I was just being sarcastic. I saw a tweet the other day that said we're as far from the 90s as the 90s was from the 70s when that 70s show started.
Yeah, I saw that same one.
Yeah.
How old are we?
Old enough.
They're gonna do. I mean, they're basically doing that 90s show now. That's what Fresh Off the Boat was. That was about That was about 1995. It's like now it's like every show's catering to me. That's how old I am.
Yeah, and Melissa, you might not be familiar with this. I think it's another. I don't know how popular, if it ever made it up there. But it's a show. I guarantee I've never watched it. I bet you Randy's never watched it. It's just like Silk Stockings. But we know all about it. It's a show for me, and for a lot of people speak of this show. When this show came on, you know it was time to go to bed. Because it was in reruns by the time because we were still young and the show been off the air. So I'm talking about MASH.
I ain't watching no MASH.
My dad likes that one, yeah.
I never watched an episode, like right when it came on and the helicopter, and like, whoop, time to go.
Yeah, MASH and Cheers, my dad loves. So when Randy told me he likes Cheers, I'm like, what, buddy? You're too young. Like, what?
Because MASH still has to this day.
Sam Malone is my guy. Mayday. Sam
That's
Mayday
why
Malone.
You love Curb, because I tell him Ted Danson's in Curb.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's good in that show, too.
Yeah.
But no, MASH has the most viewed
finale.
I think top 10 now.
Yeah, because it's like Seinfeld, MASH. I don't know what else.
It's up there, but yeah. That's it.
Yeah, MASH was a big thing for like my parents' generation, I guess. So.
Yeah, it's like.
I thought Cheers was the same, but apparently people younger than me like Cheers. I had no idea.
So, Eric, I'm gonna give you the chance right now to admit that you enjoy the Ashton Kutcher seasons of 2.5 Men.
Yeah, so animated sitcoms is interesting.
What about like favorite?
You know what?
all-time characters. No.
He wasn't.
Look, when they were live, like those last 4 seasons, I thought it was funny. But like watching 2.5 Men reruns, like TV Land, Paramount, whatever the channel it is, they rely so much. Like every season, in one way or another, still piggybacks off Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
The jokes are lazy. Like the writing is so lazy, but John Cryer does his best to sell that shit.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know.
But the Charlie Sheen 2.5 Men seasons are gold though. Like every season's funny.
Interesting, because people love Arrested Development, right? The first season, I would put it up against almost any show. It's amazing, but I find the later seasons unwatchable because of that reason. It's
The
just
Netflix ones?
self-referential. Anything past season 1, it's just like now we're gonna reference jokes you've already seen, and
So what
that's
about
not my thing.
It's a string of episodes. I think it's one of the funniest. It's the one. It's how everything connects, and I like how they take the time with it.
Yeah, they
I forget
do.
which season was Charlene Theron was on the show.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say the Mr. F thing.
Yeah.
I think that's season 2.
And she was British, and
Yeah.
he couldn't pick up.
Yeah.
And he went
See,
to.
that's when I don't care about the show that much. But people just love it. The fan base is so.
Yeah.
Did you ever get into that one, Randy? I know he's gonna say no.
I've never been arrested. I couldn't relate.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look, you're
no, I
wearing
hear
a
what
Ninja
you're
Turtles
saying.
shirt. You can relate to Arrested Development. Okay, that's what it's about. It's like
Yeah.
Royal Tenenbaums, but a sitcom.
Ninja Turtles is
No,
why I
that's
like pizza.
That's a great
Yeah, it's very relatable in that way. Like
I didn't like Royal
three
Tenenbaums until last
siblings,
month.
They can't grow up. Their mother is horrible. Blah blah blah. Like it's like one parent is horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the show's very rapid fire, very fast.
Very clever, very
with
witty.
his jokes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
but why? This is completely unrelated. But why has Charlie Sheen been on 3 sitcoms, and his character's name is Charlie on all 3 sitcoms?
Oh my god.
Because he probably some stuff that he
This
did.
is like Tony Danza.
Like I'm Charlie.
Did we ever find out who the boss was?
I love that show.
Oh wow.
And we were talking about how Leo DiCaprio got his start on Growing. I thought Growing Pains.
Yeah.
Randy said Roseanne. I don't know. One of both. But yeah, that's crazy.
Did Chachi ever love Joni back?
You're stupid.
Did
People.
What are some favorite all-time sitcom characters you guys have?
all of them?
All of them.
Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
Hillary and Jazz. I love. Chandler and Rachel. I love.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Barney Stinson.
Oh yeah. Frank Costanza. Obviously, that's my fave. Andy Bernard on The Office. I love. I can't wait till Randy gets to meet him.
Nick Miller.
Nick Miller's awesome. Yeah, hell yeah.
Nick Miller is me on TV.
Really?
Yo, yeah. Yeah. Do you remember the episode where the Asian dude takes him to the pool and is like holding him like a baby? Well, like when he meets the guy and he's sitting on the bench, my coworker is Mexican and Asian and Korean. I paused it and I showed him. I said, "This is me and you." He just laughed.
That's a really weird thing. I didn't even know what to think about that as an Asian person. I don't even get that.
It was funny.
But he like doesn't speak. It's really weird.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Nick Miller is one of the best all time.
So far, it's like somebody like dissected my brain, created Nick, and put him in New Girl.
So when I watch Ed Helms on The Office, Andy Bernard, it's like someone took the inside of my brain and put him on TV, because it's like everything he says, everything he does, that's how I feel inside. And someone was like, Andy is so annoying. It's like, yeah, I think that's how I see myself. Like, I'm like, it's like my insecurities projected on the screen. It's so crazy. That character is so genius. Like, I absolutely love it. Not everyone feels the same, but I know what you mean about Nick Miller, because that's how I feel about
You know what?
Yeah.
The character. It's a show I'm surprised we haven't mentioned.
I've tried.
But, I'm gonna say the character, and yeah, hopefully y'all know the show. Al Bundy.
Oh
yeah, for sure.
That show. Married with Children.
Married with Children, and like Home Improvement, we really haven't touched on at all.
Yeah.
with Children was one of my parents' shows that I never liked. I gotta say.
Man,
I haven't seen it all the way through, but I want to. Like I've seen enough of it to know that I like it.
Have you seen Modern Family, Randy?
No, like I was asking like a year and a half or so ago. I asked him and Nick about it.
It's a good show.
I think.
And if you end up liking Ed O'Neill, then it's like you get to watch like the sequel almost, you know, like him in his later life.
Yeah,
I like that show a lot better than Married with Children. Married with Children is too 80s for me. I don't like the sensibility. Ugh, like the dumb blonde. It's so like the annoying wife. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, exactly. The annoying wife who doesn't do anything. Like, come on, you know how a woman's gonna feel watching that. It's like, ugh.
Yeah, that show.
He hates his life. He hates his wife. Like, ugh. That's what I was worried about with King of Queens, but it's not like that at all, right? So.
We haven't brought up George Lopez either.
I never saw that, actually.
I've liked the episodes I've seen.
I heard it's good.
I think Sandra Bullock or somebody has like EP on that shit.
One of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons is the Frank Grimes episode. You guys?
Yeah. Finally, something I've seen.
I think that is one of the most hated ever. Yeah, exactly. And I heard some criticism of it that some people don't like that episode. I was like, what? I thought it was agreed upon that that's like one of the best episodes in television history. I love it.
Frank Grimes, it's genius. He was trying so hard, and
it's genius,
like look at you, like you've been to space, like
lobsters for dinner.
Yeah, like I live.
It's so relatable to feel like Frank when you meet like some idiot that does so well in life. It's so good.
He's like, look at him. He's in the contest for children. I'm like, yeah, and Homer beat the crap out of him.
Your son owns a factory. Like, I live above a bowling alley and beneath another bowling alley.
Yeah, that was a lot of people. The people who don't like it because the outcome of the episode, but that kind of plays to the point.
Yeah,
exactly. Homer always lands on top, like, you know, sunny side up.
And they tried to recreate, well, not recreate. Remember they had his son come back.
Yeah. It wasn't as good, but.
Yeah. Oh, grinding.
And that is one of the best. And that Poochie episode we were talking about, that is so good too. Like, my brother and I are always quoting, like, this is a totally new paradigm, or whatever that woman says in the meeting.
Yeah.
This is a totally outrageous paradigm.
Like, oh my God. Yeah.
It's so
Simpsons
good.
They just, upon a time. But then they become a parody of themselves. That's when.
Yeah, I don't know what the newer ones are like. So
yeah, it's not as. I mean, like the monorail episode.
Yeah. Conan O'Brien's heyday.
Yeah, that's. Oh, but anywho, we talk about this for 8 hours.
Any more questions, Randy?
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to edit no 8-hour episode. I was actually trying to look for like a good ending point. I don't know. Should we like quickly like give like our top 5s or something?
Oh no, I wouldn't even know.
I can do that. Friends, Seinfeld. It's hard to narrow. Friends and Seinfeld are top 2, and then it gets to like Curb Your Enthusiasm, Sex and the City, Will and Grace, Frasier. Yeah, that's more than 5, but that's like that's me as a person.
Yeah, I think mine are Seinfeld, Friends, How I Met Your Mother, Fresh Prince, Martin, and New Girls Climbing.
Yeah, Fresh Prince is like my 10 or 11. It's up there. And what's funny about Fresh Prince is that when I rewatch it on Netflix or whatever, like they randomly add it to Netflix and take it away, which sucks. But when I rewatch it, I'm like, I can't believe how often I quote Will without even knowing it. And it makes me feel so old, like talking about how old we've gotten. Like, nobody young today would know these references, I don't think. And it's weird. Like, so many phrases that I just use, like posse out, I got from him, and I don't even realize it. He's stuck in my brain. That's how much I watch those shows. So Eric, you like The Office? Anything else up there for you?
Yes. So it'd be The Office, The Simpsons. Yeah, I have to put Fresh Prince.
Yeah. It's too bad it was only 6 seasons, but he was just becoming too big of a star, I guess.
There's a TV show. We haven't tapped on it, but it did define a generation. I like the TV show, what the TV show is, and the TV show, and the TV show.
What?
Okay?
No.
Only the TV show.
I'm so confused.
Nothing to do with any of the personal things that the people involved with, but
Roseanne?
But I have to say this show, if we're talking about favorite sitcoms, you know, it is what it was. Unfortunate. Certain people are caught up in their real life. Whatever happened, we don't know. I don't know. So
was O.J. Simpson on a sitcom?
No. So the Cosby Show.
Oh yeah.
He had 2 shows too.
Uh-oh.
Randy is gone.
Randy's not
There
gone.
he is. Come back, Randy. We lost you right there, Randy.
We lost you again.
Will's doing his college interview, teaching the dude how to dance.
What the?
I said Cosby had 2 shows too.
Yeah, we in a different world. And
Yeah. I used to watch all those.
yeah, the good shows.
Diagnosis Murder. Becker.
I Spy or Ghost something.
No, I
Oh,
mean
yeah,
there was the Cosby Show, and then like in the mid late '90s, he had one called Cosby.
Cosby.
Oh wow, man, he was prolific back then.
Yeah, and Fat Albert and all that back before then.
Damn.
Hey.
But yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch. I remember like Cosby and Growing Pains was like 6
But,
and 6:30 or something. Who's the
Step by
boss?
step.
But I almost forgot. On my top 5,
That's
it's a
10.
very short-lived. Probably right at number 5. It's a short-lived animated series, and it's technically the Boondocks.
Oh.
I thought you was gonna say either Wayne Head or what's the Eddie Murphy like claymation show?
I thought it was gonna be that guy from Family Guy.
What is that?
The spin-off of Family Guy.
Cleveland.
Oh
How
man,
long did Boondocks last? I didn't know it was short-lived.
I think HBO Max is trying to bring it back.
It technically has 3 seasons, if not 4.
Okay.
But the show lasts like it's spread across 10 years though.
Oh, that's like Curb. Curb will take a like 5-year break. It's so annoying.
PJs.
Like
Right,
Leon
now,
and the
2000,
Albums.
and it's like in the
It's like 20 years ago it started. It's only in like season 11. It's
Right.
ridiculous. Yeah.
The Eddie Murphy show was called the PJs.
the PJs, yeah.
Oh. Golden Palace was 1 season also.
Yeah,
I was thinking about all these 1-season shows I like. It's crazy.
2 Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a good one. I like that one.
Ryan Reynolds.
But that lasted. That was like
Yeah,
what,
it was
5
around a
seasons,
minute.
right?
Something like that, yeah.
That one was around.
All right, but yeah, we're gonna put a bow on this. Like they said, we could talk about this all day, but I'm not Captain America. Yeah, drop a comment, hit us with some of your favorite sitcoms. There's so many. There's probably a million that we didn't mention. Yeah, I'll be back. We'll end the episode. Yo. I'm trying to have some fun till this rap shit I run. When the brain wheels crank, I just show you how it's done. What I think of dumb rhymes, I make them scream with some lines. But we all go a little mad sometimes. Quoting Billy Loomis, quoting Norman Bates. My word rhyming superpowers expand at enormous rates. It's humorous stakes that'll bring your mental out of that euphoric place. You can peel back my psyche and won't find no supportive traits. I've embraced my toxicity, but guess what? Your mom's kissing me, licking me, cocks glistening. My music's like drop symphonies, docs not listening, just jotting what prescriptions be. Fuck your investigation into my psychological evaluation. Them calculations can get flushed down the toilet with a freshly shat out pound of bacon. Jackhammers in my head going off while they pound the pavement. I hate it here, now wait a year, impatient for a savior. Can't nobody tell me if I'm serious or if I'm joking like Jack Napier. And chill until the next episode.